Okay, this is going to be part 2 of this. We've got a serious issue with this. A serious issue. I don't know what happened. I thought it was the power supply in the cab dropping voltage and stuff, and that's not the issue. We have got some sort of short going on here on this board, and it's intermittent, and that's what's killing or has killed the op amp. So I've removed them because we're not going through that again. I started pressing around on the board and the sound would go in and out. So I removed the heatsink that was on here, and sure enough, as soon as I start wiggling this around, sound would come in and out. So I'm like, uh-oh, we've got a short here, and I bet you that's what took out the operational amplifiers. But that doesn't explain why we're having those graphical issues. If I turn it on now, the sound system will not initialize. Yeah, we've got a short somewhere here. There's definitely a short going on here somewhere. Let me see if I can't set you up here, because there's something real funky going on here. I'm not exactly sure why this is happening. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're initialized now. See, and I don't know why removing this and putting it back on all of a sudden cured that. It was probably from moving the board. But see, we are initialized here. System is up and running. But look at the graphics now. Like, how did that happen? And I'm thinking to myself, well, if this is the video processor, that's got to be the issue, right? Like, it's got to be. I removed this. I cleaned all the pins in this socket. I cleaned the pins on the chip. No change. If I put the op amps back in, the game is actually running. It is actually running. I can hear the game playing. So it's definitely on the video side. I'm thinking that this chip here has taken a massive hit. Either that or some logic around here has taken a huge hit. Now this RAM here, I don't know. That's probably got to do with the ROMs and program ROMs here, the graphic and program ROMs. But we've got something going on in here that is just very funky. So I'm gonna have to go through this board now. Thank God these boards are super cheap. I mean, they're like $50, if that. $50 shipped. So I don't know how much effort I'm going to put into this, but I got to know what the issue is here. I mean, look at that. That is fucking wild. This all started when I got water in the basement and I had to move the machines around. And after that, this thing started getting really fucking weird. And look at. So yeah, there's something extremely weird going on here. But I do not trust this. This has got to come off. I may have another one. I hope I do. If not, I'm pulling it off another board. I don't care. Yeah, there's something awfully strange happening here. So let me go through this and let me see what I can figure out. So I removed the amp, and yep, that I would say is fucked. Look at, I'm just losing legs here. It is so corroded. I don't know how I didn't notice that before, but there's probably nothing wrong with the amp, but those pins, they're trashed. I'm literally just losing legs here. They're just falling apart. But that's still not the answer here. Even with it removed, I'm still getting where it won't initialize right away. I have to remove this. There's some sort of short going on somewhere. And it's not the harness. Because if I put another game on, no problems, no issues, no nothing. So it's definitely this board. this one's going to drive me nuts. And again, like I said, these boards are cheap. So I don't know if I just find a board with, the video processor in it. And even if there's no op amps, Yamahas, DACs, CPUs, or ROMs, or even battery backup, I have them all here. So as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to go put an APB on a board right now and see if I can't figure out what's going on. As in, get another board here, swap everything over, make sure everything's working, and then slowly swap back between things to see what the issue is. Because if it's this, I mean, I'm not getting any. It doesn't matter if I remove this, put it in, clean it. It doesn't matter. I don't know if it's this or if it's some sort of logic around here that's causing it or what. Because that is a very weird symptom. I doubt it's the ROMs, because we know they're good. We've seen it up and running and playing. I mean, everything else seems, normal here. So, okie dokie. So I'm thinking to myself, like, really? Can this chip really go bad? Well, of course it can, right? Obviously it can. But, let's get some light on the situation. You can probably already see it right now, don't you? Let me get my little pointer here. This all looks good. I know you can't see here. Looks good. I know you can't see here. What the hell is that? That looks destroyed. Now, is that the reason we're having an issue here? Is because of this? I mean, that's a lot of corrosion on that pin. I know it might not look like much, but I mean, in reality, it is. That would be fantastic if that's the issue. Why I didn't notice that to begin with, I don't know. But now I got to go through and check all these pins. See how they're bent outwards? They got a curve in them, right? And that's obviously to push against the pin and support it. I don't know if this one is missing it or not. Sorry. No, it's there, but I'm going to clean that pin up there. Come on, focus. I hate this new focusing system here. But that's not right. I'm going to clean the shit out of this because something not right there. And I wonder if it's gone down into the board. And just from moving it around just caused it to fuck up. Yeah, because that's definitely on there. I did not notice that. Like I said, I don't really see... There's no other corrosion anywhere else on the board except for right there and this audio amp. I do have another one, I believe, but this, I do not have another socket, so I'm going to be forced to at least try to repair that. But did that take out this chip? Who knows? Who knows? But let me clean this up and we'll go from there. Okay, so I took care of the pin in there, but I also noticed that one of the pins there was starting to get corroded, the one it was touching, obviously, and took care of that. I also noticed that light is way out of control there. Look at this fucking focus here. Garbage. Come on now. I also noticed, oh, you can see it there, can't you? Now, that might have been from me pulling it out of the socket, but I mean, it it was that way. That might have been from me moving it out of the socket, but I wonder if that was already on its way to be touching. It's not right now, but I mean, it's on its way. Was it not making proper connection to begin with? Plus it had that... Man, that's really on there. Okay, I'm gonna try to sort that out. And we're gonna pop this back in and see if that was the issue, because that would be fantastic. Well, it took some finagling, but I got it. Got it back in place. Let's get it back in there and see what happens. I hate this new camera. Fucking shit. You know what? Screw it. Let's do it in real time. Why not, right? So I go to put the harness back on. It is the harness's fault that it was being shorted. I'd never noticed this before. It is not with any other board. Like I said, I didn't have any issue with any other board. But this one, oh, wow. See, and this is, you always hear me complaining about this cheap ass harness. Let me get you set up here. All right. This is the first time I've ever come across this type of scenario here. Can we get you zoomed in a little bit more here? Let me see if I can back it out just a little bit, just like that. Now, I know you're not going to be able to tell right away, but can you see how much room I have left on that harness? Let me get my pointer here. Look at the gap. Look at the gap in between here. Now, if we go to the other side, you'll see there is no gap, and it's perfectly lined up. Watch this. Watch this. I've never noticed this before on this harness, because it doesn't happen with every other PCB. Now, I know you got this in the way and something else in the way here, but watch this. Let's see if I can get that figured out. Watch how much I can slide this over. Oh, sorry, you know what? I'll just take it off, and I'll put it right to the end, like that. Look at how far off. It's so far off. It's so far off that, no wonder it was being shorted. See how there's no gap there now? And if you come to this side, look at the gap. That is wild. I never noticed that before. So let me pull this off and let me put this back the right way. I don't know if this is out of spec or if this is, the board is, but I can almost guarantee that it's probably this. So there should be no gap on the far side. And that lines up perfect again. Look at that. Now and it's still not completely lined up right. But there's no gap on this side here now. Focus. Yep, it was literally off by that much. Enough to cause that much of an issue. Like, it's still off. Let me see if I can get that lined up a little better. That is wild. So yeah, it was absolutely this harness's fault. Yeah, that's as far over. That's as far over as that'll go. Sorry. That's as far over as I can get it and get it lined up perfectly. Wow. Well, I never noticed that before. Anyways, let's do this in real time here. Let's see if bending that pin back and cleaning that that pin on this PLCC socket, let's see if it actually worked. And I did tin the pin that it was on the chip that it was touching there, so let's just see what happens here in real time. Oh, fuck yes. Yep, I can almost guarantee that was the issue. Hey. 0 credits. I knew that 99 was weird, but why the hell would that cause that? Well, from now on, I am going to be extra careful with this. But yeah, okay, we're back in business here. Let's see if we can't find an amplifier chip for it, because I mean, I could fix that. Let's get this under the light here. And then let's get you zoomed in here. I mean, I can repair that. I mean, it's just the pins that are rotted, the end of the pins that were rotted. I mean, I could just literally clean up the rest of these, pull the rest of these pins off, like, fuck it, they're garbage. And then use some capacitor legs, or maybe some... I have a couple of ICs, a couple of EEPROMs here that are bad. Just for example, we know when we were doing this that the... well, that's a 512. It was a 256, was it not? Yeah, we know that that's bad. I could literally use some of these to make up for some of these. Let me figure out what's going on here. Yeah, I don't see any issues now. 0. Man, oh man, oh man. So that was totally my fault. Totally my fault that those op amps blew. All because of this, because I didn't pay attention that it was off by, it's off by an entire pin. But what I don't understand is why it's not on other boards. It must be something just with this board made by, I think this is made by, this version of the board's made by IT, although I don't see the IT logo on it. It does say the Made in USA, so this is not a bootleg. Wow, wild. Okay. So now that we got that cleared up, let's take care of the audio amp. Okay, so it's been running flawlessly now. Yeah, I don't know how I fucked that up, but I did. Especially that's that harness. I just did not notice that, and that corroded pin. That did it. And that was enough just to jostle it and get it all fucked up, and had me down the rabbit hole searching and looking, and sure enough. Anyways, I cleaned up this amplifier here, and it's nice and clean like that on each side. Focus. So I'm going to solder new pins to it. Right? Why waste it? It's internally it's fine. It was just, you know, it was corroded on the end here, and on you can see on the other side it's nice and clean, sanded. Gonna apply some flux and some new legs. So the legs I've decided to use, I haven't yet. I may use the legs from the old op amps. Why not, right? Don't waste nothing. Okay, so if you remember from the Galaga 88 video I posted, the last bad chip was this LS244 that was completely dead. Well, why not use the legs off of it? Why not? So I will cut them as close to the chip as possible, and I will use those legs to complete it. Okay, well that actually didn't turn out too bad. I was using tweezers to hold the pin in place as I solder it, and you know, you don't really have any control when you're trying to grab a tiny pin like that and hold it in place. Even though it looks like you do, you don't. So actually I found the best way was to literally hold it by hand, but took a couple of nicks there. But that should be good to go, and it's actually quite straight. I'm surprised at that. So now let's get it back in here, and it's still running. It is still running. With no issues, which is fantastic. So yeah, let's get this amp installed. Am I gonna use this again? I don't know. On a couple of the other boards that I see, it looks like they do have a heatsink, but there's actually holes cut out in the board for a heatsink to sit on. But on this board, there isn't. So I'm going to install it without it at first. Let it run for a bit. I'm going to see how hot that IC actually gets. If it gets to the point where I'm touching it and I'm like, ooh, okay, that might be a little out of control, then I'll put the heatsink back on. But in the meantime, let's kill this. Okay, and definitely got to remember about this harness here when it comes to that. Let's get this op amp installed. Op amp, the amplifier and the operational amplifiers installed, and let's fire it up. Well, you want to talk about them being straight, eh? Let's just see how far off we are here. Oh wow, yeah, not too far at all. Not too far at all. Wow, that's right on. Now, I do notice here that I actually have pins to solder to, not like it was before. I think somebody might have did some work to this and didn't do a very good job at it. Man, I do not like how unstable that is. Let's just where's that heatsink at here? Does that line up at all? Again with the holes? Oh yeah, it does. But that's no, that's still off the board. I wonder if I can figure out a way to secure the heatsink to the board without damaging the board. Let me think about this for a second. Okay, so you know what? I'm just going to super glue it. This is all ground plane here anyways. And, you know, if it was one solid piece of ground plane like that, I may have scraped that away and soldered this to the board, right, to hold it in place. But I'm going to super glue it. I don't think that's going to be an issue. I'm literally just going to do, you know, square around here and then super glue it. But the first thing I'm going to do is I put a little extra thermal paste, some new thermal paste on it. I'm going to mount the screws and everything into here and make sure it's all aligned and everything before I super glue it, before I solder this in place. But I just noticed here that on the screws that were holding it, you can see the amount of rust and corrosion on both of these screws here. So yeah, this must have gotten wet here, and I just got lucky because when I bought this game, I got it for cheap. I got it for $100. The cabinet, the game, it had new artwork. I haven't even put the artwork on, and it's brand new artwork, still in the tube it comes in. The only work that I did to it was replacing the op amps originally. Socket looks a little fucked up. I'm sure it's fine. But yeah, so I mean, this is like the first, like, what the hell is going on here? And I just must have got lucky. But when I had to move it because I had water in the basement and I didn't want them to get wet, I must have jostled this enough that made a bad connection. And we know the issue with the JAMA harness there that I never paid attention to. Like I said, it doesn't happen on other games. It's just this board in particular. I don't know if it's just not wide enough, or, you know, if maybe on the edge here, you can see normally there's a bit of distance between the pin and the edge. And when it comes to this, it is literally right on the edge. And I think that might be what it is. Like, maybe they cut it a little too slim, or maybe the harness is too wide. Who knows? But at least we know what the issue is. So let me get this down, screwed in tight, super glued, and then we'll fire it up. Okay, actually, I think that worked out very well. Like, very, very well. It is super, super strong now. And I just put a little bit of super glue on it, made it nice and flat, and clamped it for a little bit, and yeah, that's beautiful. So let's get it soldered in here. Let's get it soldered in here. And as you can see, yeah, I actually have legs to solder to now. Not bad. So get you set up here. I don't know how much you're going to see, what you're not going to see, blah, blah, blah. Let me see. Probably nothing. Where's my finger? Way over there. Come on, focus. Yeah, I'm not sure how much you're going to catch of that, but let's get a little bit of flux on it. That must be why these traces were rotten, and I just didn't notice. Well, I didn't, like I said, I didn't really do any work to this board. Everything was fine, but I just got lucky. That's all it was. Jesus. Bet you that made you sick, didn't it? Let's go ahead and let's clean that first of all. I don't want to keep the heat on too long. I'm definitely going to have to check for shorts across these once I get them on here, because those traces are exposed. Which we will clean up here. Go get some nail polish on it. Let's get that all cleaned up. Yeah, I can see where somebody else has done work here, but besides me adding those sockets in, I don't know. I must have just been in a hurry and not caring. Right, it's my own game, right? Who cares? Just get it working. Meanwhile, that's the stupidest thing to do. I want that leaking over to the heatsink. Yeah, I can tell that's been hot for a while in that spot. Where's my little brush at? Okay, let's check for shorts here. Across these pins here. Oh, we look good. Yeah, we're good. We are good. Still nice and stable. Okay, let me clear off all this crap I got going on over here, and then we'll do this in real time. You don't want to stop. Okay, now we got a spot cleared off here. Let's get this harness in place, and let's make sure it's right. It's all the way to the edge there. Yep, that lines up good. Okay. And again, let's do this in real time here. Let's just double check, because now it's got me freaked out. Yep, okay. That works for me. Okay, let's... Oh, I got no op amps in. Jesus. Yeah, I got no op amps in. Hang on. One. One and one and two. Okay, and let's do this again. Let's see. It's at a quarter. Oh, yeah. You have decent sound? Yep. Okay. So that all seems to be good. Let's put it in the actual cab, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Let's get it in here. And let's check out this harness versus the other harness on the edge connector here. Let's just see, because I know this fits absolutely perfectly. I mean, there is a little wiggle room, but it's not much. It's definitely not enough to yeah, so I mean, it must be that harness that I have, because this fits snug, and this fits snug. I can almost guarantee I can put any board in here and it fits fine. So yeah, okay. Well, let's fire it up. Kill that. That is this. There we go. And we have good sound. Great sound. Does he drink his beer as the timer? Oh, he does. That's cool. Whoops. Whoa. Come on, give me one strike. not bowling like that, you're not. Yeah, everything seems good. Phew. I literally did think that I was in trouble here. I literally thought I was in trouble with this here. This is what went out on me. It went bad, but no, we're good. We are good. Let's do one. Oh, let's do one more here. It said, "Put some money in me, sir." Let's do one more here, just so we know it's okay. There we go. We will need to go through the... There we go. Cool. Yeah, these are different sounds. Very cool. Definitely happy with this. That's the same sound. That's the same sound. Although it does play for a few frames longer there. That's wild. I mean, I've played this enough when it was Capcom Bowling to know. Oh, cool. I know there is a set 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's this, so I bet there's been revisions done on this. That's a shitty split, man. All right. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. Yay. Alrighty. All right, so that'll I'll end it here. That works for me. Everything is good to go. Good to go. So again, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.